Leave it to me, right?
That's right.
Rena, thank you.
And Rena gets a commission on every one sold.
Get a gold star, Rena.
No, maybe I just get an extra hug or something.
Okay, virtual
You
hug
can always
right
have an
away.
extra hug at this house, Rena.
Super cool.
Yes, indeed.
Rena is about to, now I'll just talk about you, Rena, because Rena is about to embark on her 16th 3-day walk, breast cancer walk.
Whoa.
Call her kavod. How
Oh,
exciting.
indeed.
Thank you.
And the team that she's on, which I used to be on, I did my
You're
last one
still
last
on.
in 2021. And we have a team that for Susan Komen raised in 16 years. How much, Rena?
$1.5 million.
Whoa!
That is amazing.
Wow.
That is
Nice
so
work.
awesome. How many are on this walking team?
This year,
It's like 90 people or what?
no, this year we have 7,
Last
7?
year we had
10.
10.
Okay, but not a massive amount. So 8 to 10 people, and you raised.
Million.
Well,
Over
some
$1 million.
Yeah,
The first
some
couple
we
years
had
there were over
a lot
100
of people.
people.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just started.
Yeah.
down.
And where do you walk from? It's a,
This year it's in Boston.
Oh, my hometown.
that's fun.
Last year it was in San Diego.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, Rabbi Sandler's wife did it last year.
Yes, she
She's
was
on our team.
She is an angel for Angel.
Yes.
And so you fly to Boston and do the walk?
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
20 miles a day for 3 days.
Wow.
Well, that's where I'm from.
Thank you for the advertisement, Rosalind.
You're welcome. If I'm
For Millicent.
Mazel tov.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's wonderful to be together.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov, Sam.
You muted us so we
That's all
couldn't.
the
We're all
announcement.
unmuting. Mazel tov, Sam. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
You
Now that
can
it's
do this
all
again later, but first, mazel
Thank you.
tov.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, when
Very
it-
excited
when
and
it's on the
very excited to have
internet,
Allison in
it's
the community.
official.
Yes.
Very happy for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a little bit of time to escort that bride, but Shabbos is coming, and we have a bride of our own. As
Oh, what a good
community to escort,
segue.
and
Look at that.
so we'll begin together by saying goodbye to our week on page 1 as we pray together the Ashrei for Mincha. Ashrei Yoshevi Techa Od Yalelu Chasela
Ashrei Shkach Halo Shem Shadonai Eloha Te'ela L'David Rimim Chai L'Hayamel
B'chol Yomcha Kavod Hajamah
B'chol Yom Avareka V'Halal Shimcha
Hadak
Le'Lamed
V'Lech
V'Dolar Remal Ma'od V'Lidol
Rabbi Levi
V'Tekir Kavod Adecha V'Dibrini V'Lotecha Tzicha Zecher Rav Tuva Yibi V'Titach V'Yaranei V'Chol V'Chol Libnei Ramad V'Chol V'Chol L'Mim Omem Shadam
Ilat Adonai Yeraber Pi V'Yarek Kol Basar Shem Kodsho Le'olam Va'ed V'Anachnu Nevarech Ya Me'ata V'Yad Olam Hallelujah.
We rise for the Amidah, page 3b. We'll do the first 2 paragraphs together on the page 3b, and then in silent devotion, page 3b.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו ישני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדושך קדוש קדושים הכל יחוסה לברוך התחילה הקדוש התחילה. Usei shalom imroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'ale kol Yisrael, ve'imru imru amen. Yase shalom, yase shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imeru, amen.
We conclude Mincha with Aleinu, page 11, page 11.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו קויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהונות השמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, להשיבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינות. על כן נגב לכם זכם, ותקן למרות שדי ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Mourners and others observing yurtside, please join me standing and enabling your voices so that we could share the burden of the mourner's cottage, page 12. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yelma divra kirotei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. V'agalam zman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah vorach le'olam omei omaya. Yiparach, Yishtabach, Yipar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, Yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Kudasha, B'churu, Le'elam Yinkol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Da'amiran Be'alma V'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'Ramav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Yisrael V'yimru.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to our service. So glad to have you. So good to be back. As many of you know, I was in Los Angeles on vacation with Ariella and Naftali, just two of my kids. So it was a very different experience, family experience for me, and a lot of fun, as you can probably see with the top of my head. It was a good time. I'm going to say more about this tomorrow in my sermon, because I had a very interesting emotional experience with my hair over the last week, and I'm going to share some reflections. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow. But I want to focus right now on Shalom Aleichem, the prayer we're about to enter into Shabbat. Now, it's interesting, the construction of Shalom Aleichem, because it's like an overture. If you're familiar with what an overture is in classical music, it is the first movement, first piece of music that will basically summarize all the movements you're going to have in your symphony or whatever kind of composition of music. The overture is that beginning piece, and it plays through all the different movements, all the different styles that you might encounter. And then when the next movement happens, the next second, third, fourth, fifth, however long the piece is, you will hear little bits of what you might have heard, or you'll hear extended versions of what you might have heard in the symphony itself, just in that beginning overture that might have just been a few minutes long. Shalom Aleichem is an overture. And you could see that in the words. Shalom, Boachem, welcome to the angels. Barchuni, to bless me, or I will bless the angels. And then Satan, go out. It basically talks about the entire movement of Shabbat. We'll welcome each other. We welcome the angels in. And then eventually we make our way out. Now, it's interesting in that it's so short. You'd think, well, there's so much more in Shabbat. It's 25 hours long. Are these the only musical movements we have? And I have a reflection from my trip that I just took, which is not like me in the way I plan trips, but it dawned on me at the very end of the trip. So I have a lot of family and friends that I wanted to see in Los Angeles, but we just had a week. And I was with my two kids, and I'm trying to balance seeing family, some that they want to see, others that, I mean, they're kids, right? They don't really care to see anybody. They want to go to amusement parks. They want to go to arcades and have a good time. But I wanted them to see these people, and I wanted to see my friends and my family. So I made a really strict itinerary for the trip. And I had printed on paper and I stapled it. And by the end of the trip, these 4 or 5 pieces of paper were just mangled beyond recognition. And it was in my pocket all the time. And it said what we were going to do every morning, who we were going to see, with the address and phone number. And then it said who we were going to see in the afternoon and then in the evening. And I had called and made appointments with all these people to make sure that our dinner dates or our lunch dates or wherever, that beach day, that they were going to be there and it was going to happen. And it was rigid. And I noticed that my kids did some of the typical annoying things that we joke about our children doing, right? They did stuff like, when are we going to get there? How long is it going to take? You know, all those kind of cliches that we hear. But they didn't complain about anything we were doing. They didn't complain about any of it. They might have wondered, how long is it going to take to get there? They might have wondered, what are we going to do? Even though I told them 500 times what we were going to do this morning, they would still ask again and again. But they didn't complain and they didn't say no. The last day of the trip, I had a stopover. I made a long stopover in Phoenix to take care of a pastoral situation. And my family, my kids, of course, were there, and we were going to make some fun of that time that we were going to be there. It was the last day of our trip. We were going to be getting on the plane in the evening. And so I left it open. I just said, what do you all want to do? We could do anything. Oh, they just melted down. Now, it could have been the travel. It could have been the movement that we had. But that lack of structure didn't provide any space for us to be together. It actually pulled us apart. It was so interesting. We couldn't be together. We were ripped apart because Naphtali wanted to do one thing and Ariella wanted to do one thing. And just the very fact that they both wanted to do something different really made them dig in their heels and say they weren't going to do what the other person wanted to do no matter what. And so we did this for about 30 minutes with some crying, some screaming, some slamming of doors. And then I just said, we're going back to the itinerary. And I did have something on the itinerary. Actually, a very interesting thing in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, the Museum of Musical Instruments. Clearly, that was for me. Clearly, that was for me. But we went, and they liked it. It was really interesting. And they went from exhibit to exhibit, and we had a good time. The structure that we impose with Shabbat truly gives us the opportunity for togetherness, to accomplish what Shalom Aleichem is telling us to, not just to invite each other in, but to barchuni, to bless each other. Without it, we find our lives so spread out that we're not even in proximity to bless each other. In fact, let's be honest, we don't think about each other all that much, right? What's the expression? Out of sight, out of mind. And so this overture that we have with Shalom Aleichem, bringing us into Shabbat, is that itinerary that allows these 25 hours to be not just a blessing, but allows us to be in proximity enough with each other to bless each other. Shalom Aleichem, page 13.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 14, Yadid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Avarahama Mishok Avda El Ritzona Yarutz Avda Kemo Aya Yishtachaver El Mul Hadara Yeralo Yediduta Minofetzu Lechotam Adonai Ziv Haolam Nafshi Cholat Avatach Anamaelna Rifanala Beharodla Noazivach Astitchazek V'titrapeh V'haitalach Shifchat Olam V'tikemu Rachamecha Chusna Al Beno Harach Ki ze kama nichsof nichsaf lirot betiferet uzaf Anaili machmali bi kushana ve'atitalam igalena ufros chavivala etzukat shelomach Ta'iret mikivodach Nagila v'nismecha bach Maher ahuv kivamoed v'choneni ki me'olam Yedidai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-dai, bye-bye-bye-bye. Yedidai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-dai, bye-bye-bye-bye. Yedidai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yedidai-dai-dai. La-la-la-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la-la, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai-da. Ai-dai-dai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-da, la-la-la-dai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-dai, bye-bye-bye-bye. Yedidai-dai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-dai-da, yedidai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Page 15. Lechu ner Adonai, l'Adonai, Naria, letzorishenu, nekadma fanav, metoda, mizmirot, naria, loidida, haida, idida, idida, אל תקשו לכם גמירה כי מסע במדבר. ארבעים שנה אקוד בדור ואומר עמתוי לבביהם והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי באפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי ידידי 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 Page 16. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, asru meyom leyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, b'chol amim nifleotav, כי גדול אדוני ומולם מאוד נורא הוא על כל אלוהים העירי כי כל אלוהי העמים מרינים ואדוני שמיים עשה עוד והדר לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו עבור אדוני משפחות עמים עבור אדוני כבוד ועוז עבור אדוני כבוד שמו צאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו העדה השתחוו לאדוני בהרת קודש הילו מפניו כל הארץ אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך אבטיקון תבל בלטימות, ידין עמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלוא, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל ארציה לפני אדוני, קיווה לשבות הארץ, לשבות תבל בצדק, ימים באמונתו, ימד ידדה ילדדה Adonai malach tagil haaretz, page 17. Yismechu im rabim anad Ki ata Adonai Zaru ala tzadik, kol yisrael lev simcha, simchu tzadikim am Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. Page 18. Mizmor shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, כי נפלא ותסע, הושיע לו ימינו, לזרוע קודשו, הודיע אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו, זכר חסדו ואמונתו, לבית ישראל ראו כל אפסי הארץ את ישועת אלוהינו, הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ, פיצחו ורננו וזמרו, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה, החצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לפני המלך, אדוני רמיה ומלוא, תבל ויושבה, נהרות ימחה וכף, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה, לשבות הארץ, לשבות תבל בצדק, ועמים במישרים, ימדי יממדי ידדי, Andirai adadarai anadadadadadai adadai Yandiri adadadadai adadai Alladadai adadai adadai Yalladadai adadai Anadadai alladai adadai Yalladadai adadai Adonai Malach Yizmomim, page 19. Yoshev Kuvim Tanut Haaretz, Adonai Atakonon Tam Yesharim Yishmak Zkayu Kuzina Yishtach Lenu Rakav Kadoshu. Romimu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Romimu, קודשו, וישתחוו לקודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו, רוממו, אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו, 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 אדוני אלוהינו. וישתחוו לקודשו, וישתחוו לקודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו, רוממו, אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו, 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 אדוני אלוהינו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו, 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 אדוני אלוהינו, רוממו, 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 אדוני אלוהינו. We rise for Psalm 29 on page 20. מזמור לדוד, אבו לאדוני בנעילים, אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, ישתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסיריון, כמו בין רמים, כמו בין רמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול אלילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו מרכבות, אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Please be seated. Page 21, Lachadodi.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמוע וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך ההפיכה. רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. הנערים מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי. על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קורבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 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 לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תמי. בך יכסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. והיו לי משיסה שוסייך, ורחקו כל מבלייך. יסיס עלייך אלוהיך כמשוש חתן על כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת מקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת מקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת יקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. We rise בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת וקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. שלום שבת שלום שבת שלום שבת שלום yada da 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 yada la da 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 yada da 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 yada da yada da 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 yada la da 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 yada da 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 da.
As we're seated and turning to page 23, I offer this reflection. Let your soul shine, luminous, elegant, brave, and true, a beacon of praise, a lantern of song, a summons of holiness, to enter our lives and this world. Let your soul shine, set it free to fill the space between the here and the unknown with abundance and with blessing. The Psalm for Shabbat, page 23.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון נגד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. ליסוד צנים להולך ומסעידך למעגל ומעשיך למען משיח ישמעו יברך שבס צדיק אתה מה יפרח כרז בלבנון יזכה שתולי בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בסבב ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדון צורי ולא עוולתה בו. Adonai Malach, Yulavish, page 24, Lavish Meos
Nachum kis
Hidazah.
acha me'az me'olamata. Asuna harot Adonai nasuna. Yasuna harokon. Ekolo ma'im.
עדותיך נמנו מאור לביתך נאו הקודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
I invite those who are in mourning or observing Yahrzeit to enable your voices and rise and join with me the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, middle of page 24. Yit Gadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Elma Divra Kirtei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon, U'chayei B'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'gizman Kariv V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shnei Rabbah Mavorach, Le'olam U'mei Yiparach, Yishtabach, Yipa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei D'Kedusha, Brichu, Le'elam Mikol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Ta'amiran V'yalma V'yimru, Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Yisrael V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom V'yimra, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Yisrael V'yimru, Amen. Yashikoach to Rabbi Blessing for leading us beautifully. It's so good to be back in this space and having you lead this very special moment of Shabbat with us. In a moment, we're going to ask June Newmark to lead us in Mariv, but we have a special treat. Dylan Afchin and his mom Rachel are here. Dylan will be celebrating his becoming a bar mitzvah next month. And so they came to kind of check out our service, make sure that they are remembering what happens and how it goes. It's been a long 2 years. Many of you might remember, especially the ones who came on Saturday morning, Dylan was a young man who was the rabbi in training. He even had a badge, and he used to sit up here with Rabbi Sandler and myself when he was quite a bit younger. His hair was quite a bit shorter, and but he's all grows up, as we like to say on my coast. He's all grows up, and we're going to be celebrating his bar mitzvah next week. But it's our pleasure to be able to invite them up to participate in our service with candle lighting. So I'll invite the Afchins up to light our Shabbat candles. If you would like to follow along, or you have candlesticks at home you'd like to light, please join us on page 301 with the blessing. And we'd love to see in your own Zoom space your candles being lit, and we can do it together.
The order now that I'm backwards, which doesn't matter. Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu no kaner
Lahag l'kner.
Shno Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom for those in the room with us. Shabbat Shalom to those online. Please take a moment, if you're comfortable, to send a chat to somebody in one of the boxes on the screen and say hello to each other, greet each other, and make sure that we're going into the Shabbat with the love that we have for each other and that it's felt, whether it's in the room or in person or in your Zoom space. Shabbat Shalom. I'll invite June Newmark to join us up on the Bima, where she'll be leading us in Kabbalat Shabbat, beginning in the middle of page 28. Middle of 28.
El Chai v'kayom tamid yimlo aleinu le'olam v'hed. Baruch atah Adonai, hamahari v'rahavim.
Amen. Ahavat Lamed Yisrael.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, ahavetah. Torah u'mitzvot u'kimu mishpatim, otanu limadetah. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shopeinu u'kumeinu, nasiya ve'hukecha, v'nisma b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam v'hed. Ki heim hayenu ve'orach yameinu u'kora yameinu uvahem neged yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'avatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisroel. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'chayu hadavarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom b'levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha b'derech ושופך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, וחיו לתוספות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובי שעריך.
ויהי שבת ישמע אדוני כל בחר ישמע
Adonai Elohem Emet.
Page 32. Ki Adonai Eloheinu v'ein zerato v'nach v'yisrael mo'apodim v'melachim
Umalhuto b'ratzon kiplu aleihem Moshe u'vinei Yisroel lechanu shira v'simcha rabba v'amru kulam Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nohora tehilo nohosei feleh Malchutecha rahu vanecha Bokei hayom lifnei Moshe Zeili hanu ve'amru Adonai imlo le'olam v'hed V'nehemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo miyad hazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Go'al Yisroel.
Let's read together at the bottom of page 33 on the left-hand side of the page. Creator of peace, compassionate God, guide us to a covenant of peace with all your creatures, birds and beasts, as well as all humanity, a reflection of your image of compassion and peace. Give us strength to help sustain your promised covenant, abolishing blind strife and bloody warfare, so they will no longer devastate the earth, so discord will no longer tear us asunder. Then all that is savage and brutal will vanish, and we shall fear evil no more. Guard our coming and our going, now toward waking, now toward sleep, always within your tranquil shelter. Beloved are you, sovereign of peace, whose embrace encompasses Jerusalem, the people Israel, and all humanity.
Ufros aleinu sukkot shalomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisroel, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We rise, page 34 for Vishamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית העולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית העולם.
Take a few moments of private meditation as we offer the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 35b. You have a poem first? Okay. Page 35b, we'll take a few moments of private meditation. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, v'imru, imru, amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu b'yakol Yisrael. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu b'yakol Yisrael. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu b'yakol Yisrael. Imeru.
We turn to page 47 as June will lead us in Vayechulu Hashemayim, then right into Shabbat Kiddush on page 47, and then jump to page 49.
Vayechulu Hashemayim ve'haaretz ve'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i v'la'ato asher hasa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melato asher hasa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki bo shavah mikol melato asher bara Elohim lasod. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu.
Page 49.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon im hilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh b'reishit ki hu yom tehila l'mikraye kodesh zeher l'tziat mitzrayim kiranu v'charta irtanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodeshecha ve'ahava uvratzon Imhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Page 51, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol.
לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כחיי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
שהונה את השמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומשה ויקרום בשמיים עמם, ושכינת זומם מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אינו אדם במלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום, השבות אלף עבדך, כי אנו ילד שמו. אז ותחתנו, רק נגמר.
Kagatu v'toratecha, Adonai yimlo le'olam v'hed. V'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, le'melech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai
Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
You may be seated. As we turn to page 52 to offer the words of the Morn's Kaddish, we note the continuing Shloshim period for David Siegel, the son of Mimi Siegel and Dr. Lawrence Cohen, brother to Aaron and Shana and Jeffrey Flash. We pray that the Siegel families get in the care that they need at this time. We also note the yurtzites tonight of Deborah Halpern Barnes, daughter to Sherry Halpern, sister to Gail Holzer and Jay Halpern, Casper Cohen, grandfather to Linda Schaefer, Miriam Feldman Greenfield, mother to Tom Greenfield, and Norma Dralick, father to Sam and Marvin Dralick, and Elisa Haydee Levine, daughter to Esther and Michael Levine. We also note the continuing, we also continue to walk with those who come morning and evening to our daily service, remembering Walter Hirschberg, Eleanor Sims, Ralph Sachs, Kathy Baumgartner Scheer, Arnold Landy, Rick Goldstein, Doris Coplin, Susan Pollock, Francis Poller, Mary Goldstein, Leon Goldstein, Steve Sandusky, Malcolm Minsk, Don Gilner, Rosalind Davidson, Sandra Adair, Marvin Silverman, Laura Chavinsky, Marcia Nodowich, Jacob Doluboff, Jerry Kotler, Harriet Oxman, Leslie Parker, Dick Eisenberg, David Carl Yarm, Bobby Latch, Rita Tuvlin, Rose Berman, Bella Hayabatsari, Lester Breen, Bruce Romer, Susan Open, Hiram Sturm, Jerry Ashkenazi, Cerise Rubin, Jules Stone, Dale Schindler, Dorothy Eisen, Stanley Kolotkin, Claire Kirschenbaum, Baruch Ben Eliezer, Sharon Hamburger, Morris Habiff, Thelma Roberts, Bert Gershon, and unfortunately I don't have the name, but I know that Roz Conter is here in memory of her father's yurtzeit. So I apologize, Roz, for not having his name handy, but I'll make sure we have it by tomorrow.
Thank you.
She's unmuted? Roz, can you say your father's name?
It was Aaron Harold Pollard. His Hebrew name was Aharon Ben Yisrael.
Thank you. I'm sorry our list is not full, but I'll make sure it is for tomorrow. May all of our loved ones continue to be a source of blessing as we enable our voices so we could recite the Morn's Kaddish, page 52. Yit Gadal, V'yit Gadash, Shemer Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Kirutei, V'yalich Malchutei, V'chayachon V'yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav V'zman Karib, V'ru, Amen, Yehi Shmei Rabba, Yiparach, Yishtabach, V'yipa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yisei, V'yita dar, v'yita lal, shmei d'kusha b'rechu, ve'ela mimho b'chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiram v'yamru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yiru, amen. Shalom b'ramav, shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, amen. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Thank you to June for your beautiful leadership tonight, to Rabbi Bluston as well for Kabbalat Shabbat and Mincha, to Eric Miller, who is our tech supervisor this evening. We keep pulling him in. When during COVID, he was the Zoom master, and now we have him on the big equipment. So we really appreciate your work tonight, and to everybody, for Jerry for passing our grape juice tonight, and to the Avchins for coming tonight and lighting candles. So thank you, everybody, for your participation in our service. A lot going on this weekend. It's a really full weekend, and I hope that you'll join us. So today is technically Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of Av, which commemorates the destruction of the temple and a whole collection of other calamities that befell the Jewish people. But because it's supposed to be a fast day, we don't fast on Shabbat, except for Yom Kippur. We push it off one day. So Tisha B'Av is actually the 9th of Av, is being commemorated on the 10th of Av, which is Saturday night and Sunday. So we're going to tomorrow morning have our regular service at 9:30 in the morning. Dr. David Jaffe will be leading us in our Torah study. We'll be in this space for our Torah service and our regular service as well. And then our Kiddush lunch. Tomorrow evening at 7:15, please plan to, if you're able to join us in person, we hope you will, because we'll not only have our Mincha service at 7:15 in person and on Zoom, but also have a what's called a Seudah Mafseket, a concluding meal that concludes Shabbat food and I'm having a hard time speaking today, sorry, and makes our way into the fast of Tisha B'Av. So that'll be at 7:15 is the service, 7:45 or so is the meal. Should be a nice meal. I've prepared some of it myself. My wife prepared another part of it. So it should be really, really nice. So I hope you'll be here for that. That's 7:45. We will have learning in that time. I've prepared a shiur that will do some learning during that. You could join the learning on Zoom if you prefer, but you're going to have to provide your own food. So I hope you'll have something yummy in your own place. And then at about 8:45, we'll conclude our Shabbat, make our way into the chanting of Eicha. If you've been with us in the past, you know that our Tisha B'Av evening has always been a big deal, where we've had lots of commentary and little sermonettes along with the chanting of Eicha. We're doing things a little bit different. Tomorrow night, we will just have the chanting of Eicha, which if you've never heard before, I really encourage you. It is one of the most beautiful tropes of the Bible, but it's haunting in the way in which it kind of weaves its way through the words. So we have a group of people who will be doing that chanting, but it'll be straight through. So we'll begin that at about 9:15 and we'll be done by 10. So if you have a bedtime, we won't miss it too late. So we'll be out of here by 10. Sunday morning is where we're going to put most of our learning with our 9 a.m. morning service. And then 10 a.m., beginning at 10 a.m., we have 2 tracks of learning, 3 segments. Am I saying that right? That makes sense? So
yeah. There are three learning slots, and there are 2 people teaching in each of those slots.
There you go. 10 o'clock to 10:45, 10:45 to 11:30, 11:30 to 12:15. We have just a great collection of teachers who will be sharing with us insights into Tisha B'Av and the idea of finding hope within hopeless moments. So it should be really deep and really meaningful. I've gotten a sneak peek in some of their teaching, and it's powerful. So I really do hope you'll join us on Sunday. Again, that is in person or on Zoom. We hope you'll join us in person. It's really a nice honor for the teachers who are coming here to teach, to have a group of people around a table with them. So that's it. Everything's on our website and our e-blast that came out yesterday. But the biggest news, probably the most important news, is that one of the elements that our rabbis focus on Tisha B'Av, one of the metrics, if you will, about the sadness, that the destruction of the temple, is that the loss of the sound of a chatan and a kala singing in the streets of Jerusalem. That to them was the most devastating piece of the destruction of the temple, is that people did not fall in love anymore. People did not marry each other. People did not move into a life together. And so it's really beautiful that the announcement came out right before Tisha B'Av that Rabbi Bluston and Allison are getting married. So we're very excited for them. It'll happen sometime in the spring. As far as I know, the date isn't exactly secured, but it'll be in Minnesota. So buy your tickets now, because we're all going to Minnesota. And we're just very excited for them. Allison will be moving here a little later in the summer, just in a few weeks. And so we're going to have to work really hard to welcome her. We are very welcoming, but she's really coming from a community that she loves dearly. She loves Los Angeles, and she loves the synagogue she belongs to. I did have an opportunity. One of the schedules that I had on my really strict itinerary was to spend a little time with Allison. So my kids and I did. And I will tell you, where she had some great trepidation before and concern about moving here and leaving the community, she has shared with me that she's crossed over that hump, and she is just full of excitement about getting to Atlanta. So we're excited to welcome her, and just excited to see Rabbi Bluston and Allison's life grow together, and how we're going to be a part of it, God willing, for a long time. Let's conclude. Did I catch everything? I kind of went through most everything, just the weekend.
Rabbi Josh Warshawski and Colleen Deeker are coming at the end of the month, August 26th and 7th. That Friday night will be a little bit different. We're going to have dinner here at the synagogue. It'll be open to the community at 6 p.m. and services will be at 7 p.m. So it's a little bit later night, in order for the younger kids and families who want to join us to be able to do so at a better schedule. So dinner will be at 6 p.m. You can just join us for services at 7 p.m. More information will come out in registration in the next couple of days. There'll be a big concert and Elul high holiday season kickoff concert that Saturday evening. It'll be really meaningful weekend. That Friday night will be musical with guitar and violin, and it'll be really nice.
Beautiful. Please check the e-blast and the website for all the information and registration, all the good stuff. With Tisha B'Av, it also means that there's 7 weeks until the high holidays. I hope you're all working on your sermons because I'm looking forward to hearing them.
Rabbi, what
service on page 53 which June would you like to do 53 Yigdal or Adonai? Yigdal. Page 53 Yigdal.
Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishtabach nimtza b'nei el mesiuto echad v'yachid ki yichudo nelam v'gam en sof le'achduto en lo demutaku ve'eno hogu lo naroch elav kedushato kadmon l'chol davar asher nivra Rishon vein Rishit l'Reishito Hino Adon Olam Echol Notzar Yorei Gedulato Malchuto Shefanu Lato Netano El Anshe Segulato V'Tifato Lo Kam B'Yisrael K'Moshe Navigu Mahabit Et Emunato Torah et Natan Le'Ahoel Hayad Nevi'o Neman Beito Lo Yachal Yifael Velo Yamir Dato Le'olamim Lezulato Sofer Yodea Sitarenu Mabila Sof Davar Bekadmato Gomel Lish Chesed Kemifalo Notain Rasha Ra Kirishalo Yishlach Leketzamin Meshichenu Livdod Mechakeket Yeshuato Metim Yechayael V'Roch Hasto Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tevilato Metim Yechayael V'Roch Hasto Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tevilato. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom from
Mazel
Shalom
tov to you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Congratulations, man.
Mazel tov to the Boston.
Mazel tov to the
Mazel
Boston
tov to
family.
Minneapolis.
Mazel tov.
Oh, we've got
Shabbat
our
Shalom, y'all.
Mazel tov, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Sam.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom,
everyone.
Shalom, everybody. Weston, we saw you in the kiss cam.
Mama Jill, you got a great daughter-in-law coming your way.
Yes.
Yes, we
So
do.
happy for
You
you.
got a good daughter. Yes, indeed. Blessings on all y'all.
Blessing,
Hope to see everybody in the morning.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good
Shabbat
Good job.
You guys.
Good job.
Good job.
Good night, everybody. Good Shabbos.
Good night, Stacy. Bye-bye. Good to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I really wanted to see my sister.
Oh, well.
You want me to head off to Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Things are good. They're, California is interesting. Interesting.